Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Bo's Slow English. I am interviewing my friend Brian today, and this is going to be a wonderful listening test, and we will be speaking at normal speed. Brian is my good friend Danica's boyfriend. And I interviewed Danica last week, and I can't wait to show you our interview. So I get to learn all about Brian today. I don't actually know much about him, but I will know everything about him after this call. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Bo. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. A little tired.
Yeah, tell me why you're tired.
I had to wake up early to charge my car.
Oh my God. Do you have a Tesla?
I do.
Oh, okay. You know what's so funny? This whole weekend, I have been stressing about charging my car. I
Oh,
have an electric car, and I do not have a charger in my garage. And luckily, I only drive 5 minutes to work, but every time I get in my car, it's like 1% less battery. So I've been stocking these two chargers on my street. Where do you charge your car? At the Tesla supercharger lot?
I do. It's like 5 minutes away from my house, so it's not that far. It comes in clutch.
Okay, clutch. That's a good word. I don't think a lot of my subscribers know that term. Can you explain what clutch means?
From my understanding, I think it's like another way of saying like it comes in handy. Like yeah, like it's just easy.
That's great. You know what? Throw out as many like Gen Z sayings. I'm surprised Danica didn't say much, but thank you for saying that. So why do you have to get up early? Is the lot busy?
The one that's near my house, it's pretty busy popping. That's another word. Popping is like it's popular, like people are always there, like it's busy. I go there early because it's cheaper to charge in between from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. Like the price is really low, or the cost is really low. But if you charge during the day, it becomes like twice the amount of what you pay. It's like from 4 to 8 a.m.
Ah, I didn't know that, but it makes sense because there's less demand very early in the morning. What did you do after you charged your car?
I came back home and was waiting for Danica to get off work.
Oh, she worked today?
Yeah, she's been working nonstop for a week.
Oh my gosh. Bless her heart.
Yes.
One of the hardest workers that I know. Did you have to work today?
No, I'm always off on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Can you tell my subscribers what you do for work?
I'm also a medical assistant like Danica, but I'm in occupational medicine rather than dermatology or derm.
And what is occupational? Did you call it occupational therapy or medicine?
It's medicine. So it's basic occupational medicine is workers' comp, meaning like if you were injured at work, then you would come to my clinic and we would treat you there. And we also do like physical therapy.
What exactly do you do with the patients there?
What we do is if it's like the first initial day, meaning like it's your first time with us, we do everything like vitals, vision. If you had an eye injury, then we'll do a vision test. If you had like an ear injury, then we will do like an audiogram, which tests like how your hearing aid. Um, we create like a long doctor note for doctor to see what exactly happened, how they got injured. Sometimes if they cut themselves, we do get a lot of lacerations. It's like if you cut yourself with like a knife, or it could be a dog bite, anything like that, like a puncture wound. We do vaccines, specifically the Tdap. if you poked yourself with a needle, because we do get a lot of healthcare people as well. So we had to like draw blood, see if you got any like infection or anything like that in the system in your system.
Do you draw blood? Are you a phlebotomist?
I don't have my license for that, but I do know how to draw blood. I haven't done it in a long time, but it's kind of easy. But I do have trouble whenever someone is like a hard stick, or I don't want to be rude, but when they're old, when people are old, it's hard to find the veins. So I typically get the expert at work, which is my supervisor.
I completely understand. I don't know if you know, but I am a certified phlebotomy technician.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know that.
I draw blood at work, but for skin treatments.
Hmm.
And there are the occasional patients who have difficult veins to find. I like those challenges. It's a 50-50 chance that you will get the vein,
Yes,
and I like to take the chance. Do you want to stay working in medicine forever?
I do not. I tested the waters. I like what I do at my clinic, but I'm not sure if I can ever do something outside of there or like even work for a hospital. I feel like it would be stressful or it might be hard. So I'm not too sure, but I don't know what else I would do.
Can you explain what you mean by test the waters?
Test the waters, yes. It's basically like getting out of your comfort zone to do something that you normally don't do. So you're just seeing how things go.
You don't want to work in skincare or dermatology?
I've applied a couple of times actually to like other like companies to join the like industry, like my girlfriend, but nobody wants to hire me. Like they all want experience, but like I can't get the experience if nobody gives me a chance.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, at least you have a job, so that's good.
Yes, because I've heard it's hard to get a job as a medical assistant.
Yeah, especially in LA. I moved to LA in 2009 as a hairstylist, thinking, oh, I can get a job anywhere. I don't need to have a plan. I don't need to already have a secured position somewhere. But I applied to a plethora of places. Plethora is one of my favorite words. It means a lot of places. And although there are many places and companies to work at, there's a lot of competition. So yeah, LA is a little bit difficult.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Brian, do you speak English or Spanish at home with your family?
My family and I speak Spanish at home.
Okay. What was your first language? Was it Spanish?
Yes, it was Spanish.
And where is your family from? What country?
Both my parents are from Mexico.
Oh, that's right. Mexico City, right?
Yes.
Okay. And have you been to Mexico City?
I've only been there once. I think it was the year of either 2018 or 2019. So it's been a couple years since I was last there.
You'll have to go back. I'm sure a
Oh
lot
yes,
has
very
changed.
soon.
Are you going soon?
Very soon. Yes, we're planning to go early next year.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I love Mexico City. So if Spanish was your first language, what was it like for you when you were learning English?
Honestly, I have a very bad memory of my childhood, but I think I picked up on English pretty fast and easily. I don't remember a time like struggling or anything like that.
Is that because you were surrounded by native English speakers?
Yes, I have a lot of like older family relatives that I spent a lot of time with, and they were fluent in English. So just hearing them like talk, so I would have to reply back in English because most of them wouldn't want to speak Spanish or didn't know how to speak Spanish. So that made me learn English faster as well.
Do you think in Spanish?
Honestly, I don't. I always think in English.
Oh, that's so fascinating. When you speak Spanish, do you have a little bit of an American accent?
My family says I do, and I think as well.
Okay.
Because even when I went to Mexico for my first time, there was a lot of people over there that noticed that I wasn't from there because of my voice or like my accent. Like they immediately assumed like I'm not from there, so it was difficult buying things there because they would like upcharge me.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's so mean.
Yeah, they just heard. They even hear me talk to because I went with my little sister that year. So we would talk to each other in English, and immediately when they heard us, they would like upcharge or upsell their items to us.
Oh my gosh. So for those of you who are not familiar with the term upcharge or upsell, it means that they increase the price. And in this instance, it is unfair. They increased the price on Brian just because they knew that he was not native to Mexico City. So I can't imagine when I went to Mexico City how much they upcharged me.
They tend to do that.
Yeah. Can you think of a phrase or sentence that makes you sound American compared to someone from Mexico City?
Like in Spanish?
Yeah, in Spanish.
Very good question.
I want
I
to hear
think
you speak Spanish.
I can speak Spanish, but I think it wouldn't sound American to you.
How
I can.
about, can I buy this apple?
¿Puedo comprar esta manzana?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, like to you it sound normal, but to like actual like Mexican people over there, it sounds Americanized.
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna say it now in Spanish. ¿Puedo comprar esta manzana?
Yeah, that sounded really good.
It'll definitely upcharge me.
Yeah, even me.
So you have a little sister?
I do. She's not little anymore, but
Oh, how old is she?
she just turned 21 this year.
Oh my gosh, how cute. So did you take her anywhere for her 21st birthday?
I did not. My older sister did.
Oh, are you a middle child?
I am the middle child, meaning I am the favorite.
Ah, yes, I'm very familiar with the middle child syndrome or the personalities that come with middle children, but there's a lot of positives to being a middle child, including being very caretaking, which actually explains why you're in the medical field, right?
Now that you pointed that out, yes.
Aw, how old is your older sister?
My older sister is, I think, 26.
Oh, okay. So you're right in the middle.
Yes, right in the middle.
What are your sisters' names?
So both my sisters have the unique names. I'm just simple. My oldest sister's name is Briseida. It's spelled Briseida. Briseida.
Okay.
And my little sister's name is Vianney. It's spelled Vianey.
Okay. And are these traditional names or like a popular name within your family?
It is not. I don't know where my mom got those names, but they're known in Mexico, but not a lot of people have those names. So
Oh,
for them, it's not like it was passed by another relative or anything like that.
and you're just Brian.
I'm playing Brian.
Playing. That's so funny. What else did you do or will you do tonight?
We were planning to go to the movies, but Danica works at 4 in the morning tomorrow, so we're not sure if we should go out.
Hmm. What movie did you want to see?
A lot of our friends have watched the movie Weapons. It's a recently new movie. Everyone's talking about it, so we wanted to go watch it.
Oh, I hope she can get up from her nap so she can go to the movies, but it is getting a little bit late, so
Yeah,
I don't know how you're going to make it. Maybe next weekend.
I know.
How do you think your week is going to go this week? Is it pretty stable, nothing too out of the ordinary, or do you have anything exciting coming up?
My week is always the same. I work Monday through Friday. I don't expect anything to be different this week. I need to save a lot of money.
That's good. Saving a lot of money is important. Do you like that your job is pretty consistent and maybe a little mundane, which means a little bit boring?
I think it is a little boring just because it's literally the same thing every day. I do meet sometimes new people, so it's nice to meet new people. But most of the time, it's always the same people that I see.
Well, I know that you're tired. I won't keep you on here too long. If you could suggest anything for my English learners when it comes to learning English, since you are bilingual, what would you recommend?
I would probably suggest to surround yourself with English speakers. Maybe you will like pick up a few new words, or you might be pronouncing some words wrong, and then you can hear from other people saying it. Maybe now, and since we're like in the future with technology, there's a lot of like apps on your phone that you can download, and then they'll teach you like new languages, and then they'll have you like speak to your phone to see how you're saying it, if it's wrong or if it's incorrect, and then the spelling especially too. It'll all be on your phone.
I think that's a really great suggestion, and I'm not surprised that someone in your age range would recommend using technology to study English. So thank you for that suggestion. I really appreciate you coming on here. I feel like I already know so much about you. When Danica wakes up from her nap, please tell her I say hi.
I will.
I hope you guys get to go to the movies, and I hope you have a great weekend.